Images are very important for SEO, and yet this one element is often overlooked by content creators, particularly because if you want to make any image to be SEO friendly, you have to assign a descriptive name based on the content of the image. For example, if you take a picture of a dog with your phone, normally the name of the image is going to be the device name followed by the date when the photo was taken. And this naming scheme is not going to help your content to be indexed on Google. So you have to give it a much more descriptive name. Unfortunately, we can skip that manual work because AI is here to save us. Basically, we can make AI to see the content of the image and then give it an appropriate name to the image file. This will make the image to be much more descriptive, SEO friendly, and also this thing is going to help people with impaired vision to understand your content or the image better. I have found several AI tools that you could try for this particular purpose. So let's start with the first one. Alright, the first tool that I want to recommend is called Ren AI, and this tool is running on your computer. It could run on Mac and also Windows. Basically, it will detect the image on your computer. You can just select what image that you want to rename, and then it's going to be using GPT Vision or any other vision model from Gemini or Cloud, and then it will rename the image file based on the content that the AI found right from the image itself. So this is just the demonstration on the website, but I have installed this software on my computer, and let me show you how this thing actually works. And the way it works is essentially you can select an image on your computer library, and then you can right click on it, and then send to, and you can select Ren AI. So this is a picture of a bicycle that I took a few years ago, but the name is not very helpful, so I'm using AI to change it to something much more descriptive and helping people to understand what's inside of the image. Now, after just a few seconds, we got the result. This is the description of the image. This is coming from GPT. I think it's pretty accurate. And of course, you can also use this to pretty much any image on your computer. I could select these images with no names and just right click send to, and click Ren AI. And the process is pretty quick, and if you have dozens of images, you just need to wait until it finishes, and all the files are going to be renamed in just a few seconds. So yeah, I would say this software is pretty accurate. You can use Cloud if you want to get much better vision model, but I think GPT is good enough. But how about screenshot? Because a screenshot is usually the one that most image model or most vision model are struggling with. So let me show you if I can rename these two screenshots, and let's see what the AI will come up with. One is the screenshot of Task Manager, and the other is a screenshot of Photoshop. So let's click Ren AI and just wait until it finishes. Okay, now actually it's coming up with a really good description and pretty accurate. This is a screenshot of Adobe Photoshop with a blank canvas. So yeah, this is pretty much accurate, and also this is a screenshot of Task Manager, but you might have noticed that there is another option called Ren Tag. So if you just right click and click properties, you will see on the details that there is no info about this image. There is no title, there is no text, there is no subject. But with Ren Tag, we could populate these columns to give it a much better information of this image. And yes, this will also help SEO. So let me close this, and I'm going to add some text for this galaxy image. Click send to and click Ren Tag. Just wait until it finishes. Unfortunately, there is no progress bar or stuff, so you just need to use your gut feeling to know when it is done, but usually it is only a couple of seconds. I think it is done, so I'm going to right click on this picture again, click properties, and I should be able to see some info. Yeah, there is title, there is subject, text, and many others. But unfortunately, this tool is not completely free. This is actually a paid tool that you have to purchase. But the good thing is that this is not a monthly subscription. You can actually just buy this software once and you will be able to use it forever. And you can just use your own API to rename pictures on your computer, and usually $5 could give you 6,000 images. So I think that's a really good proposition if any one of you want to make pictures on your website to be SEO friendly. And by the way, you can use the affiliate link in the video description to get this software. Anyway, let's move on to the second software. Okay, the next tool is for anyone that is using WordPress. So WordPress has tons of AI plugins recently, and there are some of them that allows you to rename files or rename images that you have uploaded to your website. And the plugin that I'm talking about is Media File Renamer. You can install this to your website, but do remember that this is not a standalone plugin because you need to install the main plugin, which is AI Engine. So I don't understand why they are requiring you to have two plugins, but I guess that's just the way they work. So these are two plugins that you have to install. Don't worry, I'm going to include the links in the video description. And after that, they are going to walk you through the setting to enable the file renamer on your website. And I'm sure I have set everything right. I have enabled the AI suggestion to rename the image file, and I also have set GPT Vision, inserted the API key on this plugin. But when I'm trying to rename the files on my computer, the result was not exactly the one that I'm expecting. So if I rename this file, this is the files on my media library, and the original name is headphone orange, and I want to give it a much more accurate name for this picture. And I'm going to click edit, and let's use AI to give it a much more accurate name. But it doesn't work that way because you can see the description becoming orange wired headphones, even though this is not a wired headphone and this is not orange at all. So I was confused of why this plugin fails to detect the image even though it was using GPT Vision. But apparently it wasn't Vision at all, because if you actually read the description of this plugin, it says AI Vision will use the EXIF data or the metadata of the image to enhance its suggestion. And I'm just wondering, why would you use AI Vision to read text content? I thought AI Vision is to see the image content and then interpret what is the content of the image and then give it a much more accurate name. So I don't understand why they are calling this AI Vision. And also, I just realized that this feature is apparently locked behind a premium subscription. So you have to pay, I think, $39 a year for one website to get access to the Vision AI, and then you can rename files on your website. Personally, I'm not really a fan of this method. I still prefer to rename everything before I upload the images to my website. But if this is something that you are looking for, then yeah, go ahead and give it a try. For the next method, I'm going to show you how you can use common AIs like GPT, Claude, or Gemini to generate a description for your image. So let's go ahead and open GPT or Claude, but in this case, I'm going to be using Claude. And I'm going to just upload an image to Claude, and we'll put some prompt to this AI to describe the image. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. You can just pause the video and then copy it. Generate an SEO-friendly description for the following image. Answer with a code window so I can copy it quickly. The last line is pretty important if you want to be able to copy the description in just one click. So let's click submit and let's see what is the description that this AI will come up with. Okay, now we have this description. It's pretty long, and then you can click copy and then you can rename the file with this description that the AI has provided to us. Granted that this is not the best way, especially if you have dozens of images that you want to rename. I think the first method is still significantly better. But if you just want to rename 2, 3, maybe 5 images in a day, then I think this method is sufficient, and not to mention this is completely free. And don't forget to check out the link in the video description if you want to get the software that I mentioned in this video. By the way, if you are interested to get useful prompt like this and you want to speed up your workflow, then check out this video and I'll see you there.